Section 97 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Paradiso, Canto 30. The Empyrean, God, the Angels and the Blessed, the River of Light, the Mystic Rose, the Throne of Henry VII.
The 6th hour glows perhaps 6,000 miles away from us, and now our world inclines its shadow to a near-by level bed. Mid-heaven the while, which lies so deep above us, is growing such, that now and then a star is lost to our perception here below. Till, as the brightest handmaid of the sun advances further, star by star, the sky, even to the fairest, closes to our view. Not otherwise the triumph, which forever plays round about the point which vanquished me, and seems contained by what itself contains, little by little faded from my sight. My seeing nothing, therefore, and my love forced me to look again at Beatrice. If what has hitherto been said of her were all included in a single praise, but little would it serve my present turn. The beauty which I then beheld transcends not us alone, but truly I believe its Maker only can enjoy it all. And herewith I confess myself o'erwhelmed more than a tragic or a comic poet was ever by a crisis in his theme. For as the sun the sight that trembles most, so the remembrance of her lovely smile deprives my memory of its very self. From the first day when I beheld her face in this life, till this present sight of it, I've never ceased from following her in song, but now must my pursuit desist from tracing her beauty's progress further in my verse, as at his utmost every artist must. Such as I leave her to a louder cry than that of mine own trump, which draweth now its arduous matter to its closing, she, with a quick leader's mien and voice, resumed.
We now have issued from the greatest body into the heaven, which is itself pure light. Light intellectual, which is full of love, love of true goodness, which is full of joy, joy which transcendeth every kind of pleasure. Here both the soldieries of paradise shalt thou behold, and one in that array, which at the final judgment thou shalt see.
Like a quick lightning flash which scatters so the visual faculties that it prevents the eyes reacting to the brightest objects, even so a living light around me shone, and left me swathed about by such a veil of its effulgence that I lost my sight.
The love which calms this last heaven always welcomes into its midst by greetings such as these, and thus adapts the candle to the flame.
No sooner had these brief few words of hers attained mine inner ear, than I perceived that I was being raised above my powers. Hence with new sight I so rekindled me, that there cannot exist so bright a light that now mine eyes could not endure to see it. Light in a river's form I then beheld, which glowed refulgently between two banks, adorned with wondrous hues of early spring. And from this river issued living sparks, which settled everywhere among the flowers, and looked like rubies set in gold. And then, as if intoxicated by its odours, into the wondrous river plunged again, another coming out, if one went in.
The deep desire which now inflameth thee and urges thee to know what thou art seeing, the better pleases me, the more it grows. But of this water it behooves thee drink before so great a thirst as thine is slaked.
So said to me the sunlight of mine eyes.
The river and the topaz lights which come and go,
She added,
and the smiling grass are prefaces foreshadowing their truth. Not that imperfect in themselves they are, but that deficiency exists in thee, because thy sight is not yet strong enough.
There is no little child that turns its face so quickly toward its milk, on waking up much later than hath been its wont, as I, to make far better mirrors of mine eyes, leaned over toward the stream, which only flows that we therein may be the better made. Soon as mine eyelids' eaves had drunk of it, it seemed to me transformed from long to round. And then, like folk who under masks have been, and different seem from what they were before, when once divested of the alien looks, wherein their self had disappeared, even so the flowers and sparks had changed themselves for me into a feast far greater, so that clearly I now beheld both courts of heaven revealed. O splendour of my God, whereby I saw the exalted triumph of the realm of truth, give me the power to tell what I perceived. There is a light up yonder, which allows its Maker to be seen by every creature which only hath its peace in seeing him. And in a circle's form it spreadeth out to such extent, that its circumference would be too broad a girdle for the sun. Its whole appearance from a ray proceeds, reflected from the summit of the first moved sphere, which from it takes its life and potency. And as within the water at its base a hill reflects itself, as if to see its slopes adorned, when rich with leaves and flowers; thus, ranged above, and all around the light, mirrored on o'er 1,000 tiers, I saw all that of us have yet returned up there. And if the lowest row within itself gathers so great a light, how great must be this rose's width in its remotest petals! Nor did my vision of its breadth or height lose itself in them, but embraced the whole extent and inmost nature of this joy. There near nor far, nor add nor take away; for there where God unmediated rules, in no way doth the natural law obtain. Into the yellow of the eternal rose, which outward spreads in tears, whose fragrance praises the sun which makes an everlasting spring, was I, like one who, fain to speak, keeps silent, led on by Beatrice, who said to me,
Behold how vast the white-robed convent is. Behold how wide the circuit of our town. Behold our benches so completely filled, that few are now the people longed for here. On that great seat whereon thine eyes are fixed by reason of the crown which rests there now, or ere thou sup at this our wedding feast, shall sit the soul, august to be below, of that great Henry who shall come to set Italia straight, ere she shall be prepared. The blinding greed which now bewitches you hath made you mortals like a child, who, though he die of hunger, drives his nurse away. And in the sacred forum such a one shall prefect be, that he'll not go one road with him, in open or covert ways. But in his holy office he will not be long endured by God, for hurled he'll be where Simon Magus is for his reward. And deeper down shall thrust Alagna's man. End of Paradiso Canto 30.